Alright boys, so this is video number 2 of my local character anti-series. As I said, I think I'm going to do 4 or 5 of these, get everyone up to snuff. We obviously have a nightmare player. Every scene does. Very strong character. I'm in the lab, you see, and look at this knee. Look at this knee. Alright, yeah. Shout outs to Tom Brady. I want to go over 3 primary things in this video. I want to go over his armor. I want to go over his guard breaks. Just his guard break damage. Incredible character for guard break damage. And then common ways to defeat his stances and his loops, since he's kind of a maxi Hwoarang character if you don't know what to look for. So starting off, Nightmare has these moves in this game that he is able to ignore frame data with. I mean, this is Soulcalibur, so you can already kind of ignore frame data with your universal defensive tools, but he can do it in a way where it's attached to a move. And I mean, look at these moves. This one reaches halfway across the stage, and if you don't know what to do against that, that's gonna armor anything you do. So, not anything you do, but just bear with me here. Let's try to do something against this. Okay, that might have been too much damage. Oh no, we got armored. Oh no, we got fucked up. Okay, see. There we go. We got the armor system for him. What are some rules we know about the armor system? First of all, we know that armor loses to lows. It works for high and mid attacks, special mids, special highs, whatever. It works for all of those attacks. But it doesn't work for lows. So low pokes, big lows, whatever, it's not going to work for him. Another thing is moves that do more than 22 points of damage. Those also cannot be armored. So this move right here, that's going to work against armor. Can't armor that. And finally, in frame traps, armor doesn't activate until frame 10. So he might be able to ignore frame traps sometimes. You're still going to be able to get away with most earnest frame traps, like real deal ones. He gets to ignore interesting frame traps like 2B's AGS mix-up and certain things like that. Because I mean, these are moves. These aren't a GI. They actually do something. So he gets to ignore frame data in creative ways, because he still has access to the universal tools. So going over that again, lows, armor loses to, 22 damage or more, it loses to, and it starts on frame 10. After that, we can see the moves he can use armor with: 6A, 6B, 6K. 2 of these moves are highs. So already, if he's getting predictable with his choice of the armor move he uses, duck, launch him. The only mid he can use is 6BB, and this move is minus 16. So if you have one of the CEs that are 16 frames or faster, one of the soul attacks that are 16 frames or faster, some people even have just straight up normal moves that can punish this. Use them. Like, the only caveat is that this move pushes out a lot, and he can hit it in a tip way where it sometimes can become safe. Not safe, but safer. So you'll need like a Sung Mina C, a Nightmare Soul Attack, Cervantes Critical Edge, you know, these types of things. But I just want to show it, like, see, we're guarding. And now let's use Nightmare Soul Attack. That might have been, yeah. That was like the perfect range where it would have been safe. But normally, you know, that's going to punish no problem. but I magically got like the pixel perfect range for that. Yeah, so at least if he's going to be using them, if he's using them with Wild Abandon, punish him for that. I guess another caveat is that this is obviously not minus 16. That one's a fucked up move, completely real, you just gotta deal with it. So now that we've covered armor, I want to cover all of these pseudo real like fluid strings that create lots of guard damage. The first one I want to go over is 22B we'll go into first. So this, oh, I gotta hold it. Look at that. You just took 31 guard damage, and if you don't know any better, that all looks real. But with a little bit closer look, we can see that first of all, 22B is just straight up punishable. No, that's not what I wanted. Nightmare has a wall rising AA, just straight punishes it no matter what he does. And that's because it leaves you in full crouch, so that is something you have to remember. So if you're going to punish it, I like to use wall rising moves. Or not, yeah, either wall rising or wall, like 6-6 moves that put me back into the standing position. So Nightmare has a few of these. He could do 6-6K, he can do he can even do soul attack. Like, there's nothing Nightmare can do about this. Like, even if he did this into guard, like, he's gonna get punished for it. 6-6K is kind of a weird example. But yeah, like, don't worry, it's gonna work. Let's see if 6-6B works. Okay, that's on the slower end. It's got to be like 18 frames or faster. But you see, if you block this, you get, I think it's 15% guard damage. And on back hit, it lethal hits. It's very evasive, so you can't let him get away with it. So you have to punish it every time. So, but say he is doing that same exact thing, but he's doing it from 2B hold instead. It puts him in the same stance. This actually starts to be a frame trap. So let's try to soul attack this. No, doesn't work. So instead, let's try 14. Oh, doesn't work either. So you have to use a 12 frame move, preferably a 2A, to interrupt this. And that's all you can do. Or, I suppose, instead of a move, you can step. The correct way to do this is to step right and crouch block. Because he also has, he can do all sorts of stuff. He can do into the low. So we'll try to step that up. It's slow enough to where you can easily step and duck it. Or he can do the K. See, it's all steppable. You just gotta step right. And since that is a frame trap, if your character doesn't have a normal 2A, you're gonna have to step it. And you're gonna have to step it in a way to where, you know, step right, crouch block. Because he gets a lot of guard damage from this as well. But say we throw in another thing. Say you block the B. He's going to do KK after it. And we can't interrupt that either. See, that doesn't even trade. We need a 12 frame to even trade with that. And yeah, so this is one thing that we have to step. And it's completely linear. You just have to step early enough in the animation. And this is the same thing. Like, you can treat it as the same exact stance. Step, crouch block. The low is slow. And if you do that, you'll cover all the options. And then you can punish. His other option is to do, what's the B? This is the one I don't think you can step left. Whoops, sorry. I think if you step left, this one will catch you. No, completely linear. So all of those, basically for all Nightmare stances except for Grimstride, you're gonna treat the same way. Grimstride and Knight this stance. You'll treat those two a little bit differently. So the common transition into Knight side stance is 3B, and you can tell he kind of puts his sword to the side. People treat this as a mix-up because they're afraid of the K, but as we can see, 14 frame interrupts him. 16 frames trades with him. So we can even do this little fancy nightmare swag. You know, get a 45 damage night terror. So essentially, you're going to want to do a 14 frame, just like most launchers. But if you want to get stylish with it, there you could even backdash. Backdash for a launch. The only thing you have to worry about is if he has either a terror charge or if he decides to do 3B into Grimstride. So, I mean, really, it's kind of just like, if you get greedy, you could go for a launch. But usually you should be doing a 14 framer. That's really one of his only good ways to get into Knight side stance. Otherwise, I wouldn't worry about it. This stance is a little better than the others. Kind of all of the moves are very similar frame-wise, so you can't OS it with like a step. The only thing is he doesn't have like a low from it, really, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he has a low, so you don't even have to worry. So you can step and block the A most times. So anyways, the next part is Grimstride transitions. So let's do something everybody's been hit with. So we go, oh yeah, I'm gonna interrupt him. Oh no, I got fucked up. Why did I get fucked up? It's because this move, Grimstride A, it AGIs anything vertical, including most kicks that are high and mid. So you can try any of them. You know, I'm gonna get real cool with it and use a soul attack. I mean, that shouldn't have worked. I don't know why that worked. Yeah. So anything you use is gonna be AGI'd by that. So instead, you should be using some meaty fucking horizontals. Like, you could use a 20 frame or slower horizontal and interrupt this. I think you can interrupt anything from this stance with 20 frames, if I remember right, from 22K. Let's see. So yeah. Whoops, got hit by it. This mix-up changes on hit. It's still, it's one of those things where I think, let me get hit by that. Yeah. You're gonna have to hold the mix-up on hit. So instead, remember that this is all on block. And this is from all of his stances. Like, all of his transitions into Grimstride. He has 66A, 66B, 66K, 22A, A forward. This is his only good Grimstride transition, I think. Because at least he has the idea of the second A disguise the stance transition. But in that case, if he were to do 22AA into Grimstride, this is one where I'll always 2K it. Because it's very quick, it beats all of the options, and it's risk-free most of the time. In fact, if you're not sure about doing like anti-ing it, like visually, just 2K. Just 2K. This will always win. It's a very universal thing. Everyone has it, except fucking Aswell. But Aswell blows his stance up, don't worry. So, yeah. Don't worry about Grimstride. This is just a straight up seeable high transition into Grimstride as well. If you wanted to be fancy, duck and launch it. So that actually brings me to the next two moves that are high guard damage that you can do something to stop them. This one's like medium guard damage and really plus frames. Totally seeable. Same with 66A. Duck it, launch it. It's a high. There's no reason for you to take the guard damage. There's no reason for you to take the plus frames. And the other one is 4-4 BB. This one looks so seeable, and you've been able to step it in every game since Soul 1, Soul Edge probably even. I don't remember if that move's in it, but you can't in this game. It jails. I don't even think you can soul charge. Yeah, you can't even soul charge. Your only option you can do is to reverse impact it. Whoops, I reversal edge there. And, you know, that doesn't even stop that much guard damage, because the first hit is the majority of the guard damage. So you just have to remember that it's a slow vertical. So you gotta, I mean, step intelligently. And if you do have to block that, remember you can RI. Definitely remember that. I wish the input was better. Being attached to the reversal edge button sucks. But yeah, at least try to stop that. Only one more thing I'll get into is this move. This move is absolutely godlike. And this completely jails. So this is definitely 100% microcosm of Soulcalibur VI. I want to tell you there's some good news about this, but there's nothing I can tell you. Literally, you can't do a thing. You can't soul charge, you can't reverse impact, you can't do anything. Does a fuckload of guard damage. The only thing I can tell you about it is that it's linear. Oh my god, it just clipped me while I said it. Step right against Nightmare. We'll just go with that. And it's gonna clip me again. Okay, step right against Nightmare. But I mean, if you block it, there's nothing you can do. You can pretty much go for an OS Just Guard. That's your best hope. And even Just Guard doesn't really do that much. Because, I mean, I can release Guard here, and it will still, I had to block that. But you see, I'm already dealing with it. That and 6BBB are Nightmare's best use of Terror Charge. I wish I could tell you something about anti-ing that move, but there's nothing I can tell you. And that's it, folks. That's all I got. If you got any more questions, if you want me to redo the video, let me know. Alright.